Hi, my name is Steph. If you'd like to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. I've created an ink blot for our scrying session today that we are going to scry for shapes and symbols that may speak to our psyche and psychic senses. As well, we'll add on tarot and oracle. And where Mr. Plasma here is, we have Ghost Tube Seer for any visual inspirations that may arise and further inspire or irritate. Overall, please do receive a release freely. So when you are ready, let us begin. You know the drill as well. If you see, sense, or feel any shapes or images that decide to stand out and speak to your psyche and psychic senses, please feel well to comment below. I'm going to take a moment to open up. You're welcome to join me or fast forward through if there's timestamps in the description box. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. In the name and honor of anyone here at any time, may you meet a message with meaning. Gratitude. Let's go. Okay, so this ink blot is standing out to me very large, like in like full scope, zooming out so I can see the whole thing. Okay, I feel as though I am seeing a tiger. Eye of the tiger. Yeah, okay, so there's some sort of roar. I'm hearing a roar. You see right in here. Something's like calling forward, coming forward. It's almost like I'm seeing a firework. And it becomes something in the sky. Now, as I acknowledge that, I'm seeing, do I have a pen so I don't need to use my inky fingers? There's a mermaid type creature here. I'm also getting the feeling of, the mermaid has really large fins. So I feel like that is indicative of something. I don't know much about mermaid lore, history, mythology, but something about the size of the fins. And also, I'm also seeing, I think it's in Star Wars, forgive me. And it's the Harrison Ford dude, and comes out of is it Princess Leia saves him, and he like melts out of that stuff, or it cracks or crumbles. Like I'm coming out of something. A hard shell. Okay, now this is like working like a 3D printer, and this whole face, this mask, I feel as though I am not a mask in the way one might immediately assume or consider. It's almost like, well, the way I'm hearing it is like a reconstruction, facial reconstruction. Maybe there's something about the frequencies of that. Like within your expressions, or you notice others' expressions. Maybe it's also in some way, shape, or form having to do with security of like the phone devices. I don't have any that are new enough to have, but like facial recognition. For some of you, you might be seeing. It's kind of like scrying, or divine. However you decide to divine or use your sixth sense of sorts, and you might be looking at the clouds, and then you see a bunny or you see something. But there's something specifically about facial recognition about somebody that has crossed over or has transitioned through the threshold, very well existing. But maybe they've been coming to you in certain signs and symbols, and there's a preparation to see them reconstructed in this bliss, like their optimal state, right? Does that make sense? Like and maybe you like see people or somebody else and they look like that person. You're like, I think I just saw a ghost. Like I just saw, my passed on partner, friend, sibling. Like there's somebody really close to you that they've been able to see you and you've been receiving signs or maybe even like dreamlike apparitions, and maybe that's where it'll come in that space. I'm not sure, but it's like you're going to recognize them. And if you've seen somebody and you're like, oh, they really look like so and so, I feel like that was on purpose. Like that was very much so a thing. You saw them, you recognized their effort anyway in there. I'm back in like this mermaid land, but I'm not a mermaid anymore. Sorry. I feel as though I am up in the sky. Yeah, I'll say up in the sky. And I am looking down at this pool, this pond, this water, and seeing somebody lay on their back. Maybe it's daydreaming, vacation, contemplating, but I'm floating. I'm floating. Sorry, give me a moment because yeah, there's a bed right here. So in the negative space there, I am astral traveling or whatever that might mean for you. For some, that also could be out of body experiences. Yeah, there's that bed. While you're doing this, you might be meeting up with other people and like see, it's like facial recognition. And maybe you feel you're not recognized yet. Maybe this actually works to your advantage a little bit if you are like remote viewing or astral traveling, whatever the case may be. But I feel like I want to wander. Okay, because this is bringing me into bed knobs and broomsticks, having adventures on the bed, if you've ever seen that movie. Or if that shows my age, but I love my age, so that's fine. It's fine. But very fun. And it has that mix of cartoon. Yes? Is it kind of like Mary Poppins Land, if I recall? The mix of cartoon and or animation and humanness. Again, right? It's like that. You might see somebody's like caricature. Caricature? It's very interesting. I'm being drawn up here around the bed, and I kind of feel like I'm sitting like this, thinking. There's another rabbit hole that I'm going to acknowledge quickly. There's a face and there's a baby here. And, like, oh, you're such a pretty baby. Or, what are those kisses called when you do them on the belly? And it's like, one of those. Yeah, I don't know. That's the way I'm seeing that. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for holding space for me to share my insights and all that kind of good stuff. Don't be afraid to move and change. For some of you, I feel like in the subconscious space or in the sleep space, okay, you might be working through being seen there first. With spirit, with the ghosts like ghost tribe. Well, you're here, so I know you appreciate a little bit of spooky, and I love that about you. But not scary. Let's not be ridiculous. There's something about stepping out into the limelight of bringing maybe what dreams that you have that work themselves out, play themselves out in the subconscious realm that you may already do astrally, energetically in those realms of existence. And it's making its way into the waking life to have like this dream come true vibe. Because I'm even seeing like a long nightcap here, but I'm also seeing this as a cactus with lots of sun. And it's almost like, if I may, sorry, they're drawing my attention. It's like I'm surrounded by spirit that care, that are helping me. So even just like this ink, when I was talking about like the 3D printing of this facial frequency of sorts, but there's all these characters around me that are helping this happen, that are helping this come together. It's not a mask in the way that we might think is falsifying anything. This is a mask that is, if I'm being honest, I feel like I'm being false to myself if I say I don't want this, truly want something. You know what I mean? It's like I want this dream to come true, or yeah, we're still here, thank you. Something along that lines. And while you already have the people in spirit and could be working with the spirit energies, entities of many people, places, and things, but I feel like it's being called, or what, at least what I want to say or admit is, I would like to have a similar experience while awake and incarnate and on earth type thing. And that requires me to kind of, you would think, step out of this circle, but they're preparing me for that. That's how it's making me feel. I feel like I'm being prepared for that. So whatever it is that you're doing, dreaming about in your out of body experiences and sleep states, there's a bleed through that's happening into your waking life. You are supported. Oh my goodness. And remember how I was talking about being in a pond floating on the back? And then there's this pond. There's the light. Maybe we have a nice mountainous background that is of the beds there. If I could slide that in there and see where that person is. I love it. You are supported, and you're supported by maybe a third eye tribe. And it's being asked to come down into the tangible. I like it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. If you're sticking with me, I appreciate it. The Aura Adventures are always curious, exploring consciousness, connections and stuff. There's a turkey here. I feel like it's like a grandmother. I feel like I'm getting grandma vibes. They're fussing, like they're specific details. They're good with details. So, and then there's a gentleman here. I'm actually seeing him very specifically as somebody. Oh, like a character. The closest I can say is like Mr. Belvedere. And then, if I may, it'll take me into, oh my goodness, I'm like, blast from the past. Did you ever see the show Give Me a Break? I think her name was Nell. She a housekeeper or something, but I feel like she was, I don't remember, but she's stepping forward. Nonetheless, like right in here, it's almost like a butler waiting. What is this? This is drawing my attention as well in here. I feel like I need to be a little patient. There's something about me like sitting still. If it was like the olden days and you need to take a picture and it takes, or getting an oil portrait done or something like that, and it's just, takes a long time. You're just sitting still for it, sitting still. And maybe this is like in the waiting, like waiting in the water, waiting. Something about water as well. Okay, eternal love. Love is love is love, and it transcends physical death. So if any of you do have, remember when I was talking about like that partner you think, or sister, parent, guardian, somebody that has passed that you meet, that means a lot, and you think you see them or you saw them, they are sending you those, to have that recognition of them. Also something about the grandparents. Just fussing over you. Fussing. I love it. We have here trick or treat as well. Mischief and play. Okay, so a message maybe for somebody specifically is you were able to marry, or commitment, ceremony, just connect and commit to like your, childhood sweetheart. And you got together, you're able to have a home, build a home and a family together. And somebody did really love Halloween. I'm not just saying that because of the card. It's the message that's coming through quite specifically. Also, for if you have grandparents around you, grandparent energies or guides, but they do feel like they have been incarnate with you in the lifetime that you would remember. Possibly great grandparents, though I feel like you might not have a memory of them, but you were like born. You were born and they were there, but maybe you were really, really young and you don't have a living memory of them, but they remember you. I have the Emperor coming through. I think this is this guy down here in this waiter, kind of Mr. Belvedere, because when I saw the chess piece, it's first of all I saw it like that ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, like you want something. But the other way I saw it, did it fleet on me? Thank you. Don't be afraid to move and change. And it's like the chess game, the proverbial chess game of life type thing. For some, I feel like there are footsteps around you, but there's no. I think these are like, I don't know, these might be your tribe people, your spirit team. Maybe you live in a haunted house. Okay, thank you. The haunted house. Some of you might have children, spirits of children around, because I'm seeing footsteps, but there's not a body to go with them type thing. Or you might have children that have invisible friends, or again, this could be a memory of yours, but I'm seeing it right in the moment. Something about somebody in a nose. I just saw little eyes and a nose. Is it 7 of Cups? Yeah. You might not know what to do if you live in this house, but you're like hearing children. There's like mischief and play going on. There's something about like bunk beds. I feel like it's a busy household. It's just a busy household with life, and also life being lived in another way. Because you feel your energy, what you cultivate, creates safety and security for me to play. That's how I'm feeling in this moment anyway. Okay, we're switching back. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going here. I am kneeling down and I feel like I'm fixing something up on the ceiling. Like I'm like, I don't know if it's a light or putting in a night light, or it doesn't have to be in that realm, but I also could be proposed or being proposed to. I'm seeing candles. Yes, very large candles. They are white, even though I'm looking at white ink on black canvas, but they are white candles. Yeah. Something about a proposal. Doesn't have to be romantic per se. It could just simply be, again, a declaration of something, or I'm fixing something up above. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's like tall, up in a way. Maybe I need to kneel like in a crawl space or something like that. I don't know. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. All right. I am going to flip this and I'm going to do another reading, but I want to thank you so much. We will come back to this for sure. No, we're staying. Sorry. I apologize. We're staying. Okay. Typically I'd be like, hey, we're at that 20-minute mark, attention span. Nope. Nope. Okay, so here we go. Okay, thank you. There's a poodle and a party hat being on. Do you remember Grimace from McDonald's back in the day when they had like the old creatures? Somebody might grimace for being doted upon, prepared for. This is what I feel like. What is this in regards to? Something about duck feet getting my feet wet as well. There's also a lion in here that's being quite... We saw a tiger in the other way, and now I'm seeing a little lion. I'm also seeing as somebody might have a dog in spirit, and they have like a poofy little face. I don't know what kind of dog it is. The closest I can bring it to is like a Shih Tzu or something like that. Like it's a smaller dog or a medium-sized dog. And it's like, come here. Come here. They hear you. They're still with you if they have passed on. They like send you little hugs, shine, make yourself seen. See, this is in this preparation. The feeling of being doted upon. There's also what I'm seeing is, okay, I don't know if it's a gesture. It's like I want somebody to make me laugh. I'm really nervous. I feel like I might be preparing for a wedding or a funeral. And I'm being doted upon in preparation. It feels more wedding-y or commitment ceremony. Again, it's just commitment. Connection and commitment, I keep hearing to say. And I, either somebody in spirit or they're incarnate, because I'm not sure if they're alive. Well, they're alive either way. Okay, so I'm just going to release trying to constipate myself over that. I'm asking them to make me laugh because I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. Am I nervous about being seen? Shine, make yourself seen. Tribe, find your people. You are supported. Don't be afraid to move and change. Come back to the facial thing, and like maybe even it could be like freshening up, like getting Botox or something like that, or I don't know what people do, put makeup on, or I don't know. Whatever people do to make yourself feel great. But I do feel very much so doted upon. Infinity, preserve your power. Okay, so thank you. Right beside each other. Let's try this. Okay, so it's going from there and then releasing that up there. But I hold on to being doted upon and maybe sometimes unseen amongst the crowd, right? And I think in some way, shape, or form, we can all relate to that, whether it's at your job or in whatever the case is. Or even just being online. It's like I'm here and it's like you don't see all the channels, you don't see all the people, you don't see everything. And maybe you have an offering, maybe you do something online, or maybe you do something out in the world, but not everyone can get to your shop. Not everyone walks by. Foot traffic, this, that, or the other. And maybe you're going to consider having a grand reopening or building an online shop to balance being local and then also have the chance to be seen worldwide. Because again, when I say that, I come into eternal love is love is love, but the harmony of both of like two of these worlds together. I'm also, if there is somebody getting married, I feel like it's like really good love, like ride or die. It's gonna go the distance. I don't know what that is, like through infinity and eternal. You know what I mean? You're gonna take the step and both of you will shine together. Did you make the right choices? I'm hearing yes. Yes. And there's always like this, like you might have some sort of worry about all the schematics of something, or I don't know what it is, but I hear you will retain your individuality through that. So there's no codependency, it's interdependency. Choice, your decision will be correct. Yeah. So if you have made it, yes, 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 yes. All right, let's get ready to close out here as I'm rolling down to the bottom of the ink blot here. I want somebody to make me laugh. They're willing to make me laugh. They're doing a really good job of it as well. I appreciate it. That's how I'm feeling. Prepare to be seen by stepping forward to be seen, knowing that you have the support. I also want to note that sometimes it feels like this little candle, it's like, oh, I'm so small, this little light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. But it grows. It's like this little light, or this little candle, if I may. We saw a candle in the other way? Yes. And then you put it in a lantern, and then it can emanate. And it's actually like the effects of that are sent out. And when, like, because there's a ship that comes in, it's by having that light and that lantern and holding that for yourself, reserving and preserving your personal power, because that's what kind of like projects out. And even if you're like, if some of you are going to be very famous, even when I say unseen to seen type thing, this is also like, it's bringing me right back into the sleep state, the astral adventures, out of body experiences. And I feel very seen there, but not, and maybe that's a good harmony or whatever the case is, but it's almost like when I wander over into the other aura landscapes, it makes me feel like I'm very seen there and I'm very comfortable, but maybe it doesn't always cross over. Almost like I might have a lot of anxiety here, like interacting, might be highly introverted, or there just might be anxiety, something along that lines. Anywho, okay. So closing out messages here with the tarot, we have Ace of Cups. And this is what makes me feel so... Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. It's so great. It's so great. It just feels so nice. Even like, that's what, if the haunted house thing, or you have lots of children alive or having the haunted house, your heart space, what you create in your commitment to a life partner is for life. You emanate a certain light that helps others shine too, like that nobody's overshining each other. And it's really quite lovely. We have here vampire emotional intelligence, but you know me, I'm usually going to read the art first, then the words. What I'm hearing is you're making the right decisions because you are staying in your personal power, preserving your power and your perspective, and your emotional intelligence is intact. I don't feel like you make decisions willy-nilly, but I do hear that they just, stand outside. It's like standing in front of your own shop, as an example, and saying, "Hi, I'm open." Or like, how they have like the pizza places. There's somebody out there with a sign. They're doing all these fun things, and it's like, they're like right there. And you should be very proud of yourself for one reason or another. I don't know what's going on, your experiences in other realms, but it feels really uber well. Okay. Anything last but not least, if you can see anything up there. I know it's still in the one direction. No, it's still. No, we're good. All right. Yeah, there's a big old sword in here right through the center of the mind. So you might be going back and forth on things. How do I get this done? How do I be seen? I don't know. I feel like just getting started, just by sitting here with me and saying, "Hi, I'm here. I'm here." And start nurturing your own candle, or whatever the case is, or if you're redecorating. But I feel like you're being decorated. There's also somebody stepping forward. He's a gentleman. He looks at you very fondly. He had small eyes. I don't know if that means anything to anyone specifically. And just before I get ready to close out here, there's something going on right here. And if you see anything, you know the drill, please comment below. I'm going to have to look down for a second. Okay, so I'm seeing, two people. Remember how I was like, saw it on the knee, possibly proposing, but here now I'm seeing like hands together. on this little mountain. And as soon as I looked at that and I saw this, maybe this is the masculine and feminine energy. Maybe this is your mind and your body coming together in that heart space, right? The mind and body are on the same page. We're working towards whatever it is that you want, emotionally or intelligently, whatever you choose to focus on, I suppose. And then as soon as I acknowledged that harmony, it turned into a castle. Oh, it's so nice. I love it. Like a fairy tale castle. I feel like a fairy tale is coming true. All right. I'm going to leave this here. I hope this did serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. And I want to thank you so much for scrying with me, for holding space for not only myself, but for symbols, shapes, and spirits to step forward and speak, as it is appreciated. And until next time, thank you so much for being you.